students. So as part of your reading for research and asking research questions, one of the skills that you would use when reading information from articles is using context clues. That means if you have hard words, new words, words you don't know. So these are words that you don't know. So there are two ways to go about this. One is to use a dictionary. And you can do this anytime. It's very good. You can use it to build your vocabulary. Another way, though, that we're going to talk about today is using context clues. So this is like translation in the sense that you're looking for the meaning of a word, but you're using the sentence or the passage. Anything that provides the context. That means more information that you can use as clues to help you find the meaning of a word. So here we have guessing words from the context. You find the meaning of one word using information from the context. So let's take a look at that. I'll show you what that looks like now. So here is a sentence, and the word we want to guess is incognito. Now, you could check the dictionary for this word if you want, but what if you don't have a dictionary handy when you're reading the article? Although that's very unlikely because we have cell phones and computers these days. However, if you want to use other ways of finding it, you can try doing word parts. So maybe in is a word part. There's cog, maybe, and then nito. So maybe in could mean something. If you know, maybe it's inside, or maybe it means not. And then cog may know a word like cognition, which has to do with the mind. So these help you guess. So you may know some parts of the word, but not all. And then the third way we're going to guess is to use the context. So whenever you ask the question, well, what do I think this word means? Or what do you think this word means? You can use the context, and you can use word parts to figure that out. Once you've tried using word parts and context and you still don't know what it means, you can always go to a dictionary. So this is like your answer book. See whatever a word means. Well, that's what a dictionary is, right? So let's read the sentence and see if we can guess what the meaning of incognito is. Geraldo, that's a person, wears dark glasses and a rain hat when he wants to be incognito because he is constantly being hounded by the press. Okay, so we have the subject, that's Geraldo, and he wears dark glasses and a rain hat. So erase the word parts now. We're not using that for this. Okay, so we have, he wears dark glasses and a rain hat. And when, so there's my subordinating conjunction. Okay, so clause 1 right here, Geraldo wears dark glasses and a rain hat. When, clause 2, he wants to be incognito. Same subject, he wants to be incognito. So this reads like an adjective. And then because, another conjunction. Clause 3, he is constantly being hounded by the press. Now, if you think this is a passive sentence voice, you are correct. Is hounded by, so the press here is the subject, or in this case, in the passive voice, he, the object, is doing something. It's hounding him. You can probably guess the meaning of this word. You might know the word hound, like a dog, but this is like a hunting dog. A hunting dog that doesn't let go, is chasing after, chases something. So he feels he is constantly being chased by the press. So that's clause 3. Okay, so there is a reason why he wears dark glasses and a hat. He wants to be incognito, to stay away from the press. So let's take a look. Can you guess the meaning by now? Let's take a look at the clues again. 1, he wears dark glasses and a rain hat. Clause 1. 2, he wants to be in a different state. That's the adjective here, incognito. And when he is not incognito, he is constantly being pestered or chased by people, like reporters and cameramen and cameras. So if he doesn't want to be chased by cameras and reporters, they don't want people to recognize him. So not recognized. So he's hiding. So if you guess incognito means to be hidden, means to hide, means to not recognized, you're probably right. So we use the context, which are the passages here, and we can use the word parts as well as the word form. So that's also a way to do it. And then we can finally check with a dictionary. And you can also use the context to find the right definition. Find the right definition. Because many words have multiple definitions, and you want to choose the right one. So let's check incognito. So I would move this and then use the Longman Dictionary. And let me put here incognito. Alright, so we have the word incognito. If a famous person does something incognito, they do it without letting people know who they are, a disguise. So that looks pretty good so far. And we can go down to see if there are any other definitions for incognito. No. Okay. So here the dictionary says it's an adverb. Although the sentence, when we go back to it, to be, always follows an adjective. So perhaps incognito works as an adjective as well. But we have here a disguise, to not let people know who they are, to hide their identity, or hide who they are. So you can think of celebrities who wear sunglasses and hats, right? Same thing. because they are too famous. So that's enough about that. So, going back to our clue, things match in the skies.
This is one last part, the area of a rectangle and a triangle.
To hide,
And a trapezium. Do you know how to find the area of a triangle?
to avoid recognition, because he is running away
Yeah, the
from
shaded
people
part.
who are chasing him.
We just want the area of the shaded part. Just the shaded part.
So far so good. Incognito. All right. So the next thing we want to try is
How about a
practice.
rectangle?
Practice these words. So parquet, that's one. Hallmark, that's two. Gate, that's three. Okay, remember, you can use the context. So that's sentences, clauses, and certain words. You can also use word parts. If you know the different parts of a word, you can use word forms to know what kind of word you're looking for. So like noun, verb, adjective, adverb, etc. Word parts, you know, you have prefix, the stem, the suffix. Okay, and then you can always check with a dictionary to find the right definition for that sentence. Okay, so let's try one. The parquet. The parquet floor of the palace was beautiful. Well, we know it has to do with the floor. Different colors and pieces of marble and various precious stones are inlaid to form an intricate pattern. So this floor, this parquet floor, parquet or parquet, the French is probably parquet, is a beautiful floor. It's a beautiful floor made of different colors. It has different pieces of marbles and precious stones that are put together to form, here's make, an intricate, that means complex, but beautiful pattern. So if you guess a patterned floor made of stones with different colors in a expensive place like a palace, a special place, you'd be right. And you can check this with the dictionary too. Number two. All right, we finished with number one. Number two, the Douglas fir. This is a type of tree. Unfortunately, there's no context to tell you that unless you go to the next sentence, tree. So actually, if you didn't know what Douglas fir was, you can see, it's a tree. It's a magnificent tree. And here, hallmark. We can see what this is. What parts of this passage can we find the meaning of hallmark? Hallmark of the Canadian West Coast. Douglas fir is a tree, a magnificent tree. Hallmark of the Canadian West Coast. Okay. So the hallmark. So because there's a the, this is a noun here. Parquet could be a noun or an adjective. And this is something we can check if we go back to one. Hallmark, though, is definitely a noun because it's right after a definite article. Is easily distinguished. So easily, adverb. Distinguished, adjective, by any visitor to this region. So even visitors, people who don't know or have never been to the Canadian West Coast, they can see it, they can recognize it to distinguish. So it would be like a big tree like this, big tree, and you can even use a different color, like a big green, very nice tree. And then it's so big and so magnificent that it's bigger than all the other trees. Maybe something like this. So then you'd have the magnificent Douglas fir that anyone who sees it will go, ah, I see that. Wow. So hallmark would be something that people would easily recognize, that stands out from other things like it, from, in this case, other trees in Canada. Oh, and you may see Hallmark is a card brand too. Now, now you know why they chose that name. Maybe they want to stand out from other companies, other card companies. Okay, last sentence. The man had a particular gait. This is the word we want to look for. So this is something a person can have, and the next sentence would describe this. Something about feet. He would move his foot forwards as he walked, and then pull his shoulders down in a kind of a shrug. So it has to do with motion, and it has to do with a walking motion. So this person walks with one foot forwards and shoulders down. So the details of how he walks, the motion involved, would be a gait. The way a person walks. Way a person walks. Okay, so the last thing we're going to do is check the dictionary to see if we're using the right definitions. And then that'll be it for this short lecture. Okay, so the first word is parquet. Whoops, spelt it wrong. Let's see, wait for it to load up here. Parquet. Parquet. So we have parquet. It is indeed a noun. It's from French. You have small flat blocks of wood. Well, in this case, well, the context said stone or precious stone. But we see there is a pattern that's fitted together to cover a floor or room, or in this case, a palace. Of course, you can Google this if you want. That works too. Again, you'll be looking at general knowledge if you're looking into your research. Just want to know what it is, right? To find the meaning. So we guessed it, and now we know it. All right, let's check the next word. Next word is hallmark. So far so good. The first definition seems to be working so far, except hallmark has more definitions. Okay, let's take a look here. How many do we have? Okay, we have 2. Let's check which one is the best fit for the context. So the first definition we have for hallmark, which is a noun, we have an idea, method, or quality that is typical of a particular person or thing. Or number 2, A mark made out of silver, gold, platinum that shows the quality of the metal when it is made. Well, one seems to be a better fit. Here is a particular person, so, well, we can refer to to the Douglas fir as a particular thing in the west coast of Canada. And then, yeah, it's typical, but in the context, it used distinguishable. So something that people would recognize, that people would distinguish, that to know and recognize. So that's the second word, hallmark. Let's check the last word, which is gate. Okay, well, you read it, it's right there, it's pretty simple. We found the right definition right away. Yes, it's a noun, and it's the way someone walks. So the foot thing, the foot movement, and then the body movement. When someone walks, there, that's good. So that's it. Those are the 3 words we checked, and that's it for this short lecture on guessing words from context.